So, welcome to Flashback Fridays, where we take a theme or two from the week and go deeper into it and dive. I love it. I'm so glad you guys are with me. And we're going to talk a little bit about healing, forgiveness, and the passion of the Christ. I love these themes. You know, you're most of us have been very passionate about complaining and feeling separate. You know, it's been quite a passion. And so, as James says, we need passion to replace to passion for the oneness, passion for wellness, passion for healing, passion for the real world, passion for love without opposition, enthusiasm. We need that to lift off the ground and replace our old habitual pattern of having passion for our victimhood and for our sense of separation with passion of the Christ, without necessarily watching the movie and putting more money into Mel Gibson's pockets. So, I was guided to read a little bit from one of my Dr. Seuss poems. Gather, my friend, 'cause the end times are here. Not the end of the world, but the end of your fear. So turn down the lights, make it dark now, I dare ya. Stick around for a while and I'm gonna unscare ya. Now, when you were young and most things were quite swell, fear knocked on your door with a product to sell. And like most good salesmen, he cast quite a spell while selling insurance called All Is Not Well. Now, All Is Not Well came in its own case, the case that there's danger all over the place. And after you bought it, your all is not well, you felt it your duty to share and to tell. That's enough for now. The point I want to make, the point I want to make is that healing, whether it be physical or emotional or mental, and some of you know that all healing is really of the mind, and the body does follow, not always, but healing is bringing your judgment that something is not well. All is not well, or this body is not well, or having COVID is not well. It bringing that perception, which causes contraction, resistance, and a blocking of the light, to the eternal truth that, oh, all is well. And that can be accomplished through a shift in your perception. It can be done within your own mind. It can be done by going to a healer who holds the space. Oh, all is well. And you feel safe enough and you trust enough to allow your all is not well to dissipate in the presence of their passion and conviction that all is well. So in a sense, you borrow their passion, you try it on for size, and you make it your own. The healing is still about you and your willingness to shift your perception, but you borrow their conviction and their passion. And that's why we go to healers. So we can go back to the truth that all is well. All is well with this cancer. All is well with this COVID. All is well. Whatever's going on. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the other day I saw a man in a wheelchair with no arms, no legs, and he had a paintbrush in his mouth, and he was painting a beautiful picture. And there was a gallery of all the pictures he painted. In a sense, we're all like him. We all have the illusion of limitation. Our bodies need to go to the bathroom. Our bodies tend to die. You know, our bodies sometimes get sick. Sometimes, all of these things, there's money, I need to, make, all of these things are limitations. They're not really representative of who we really are. We are spirit am I. What is it? Limitless, and that quote from A Course in Miracles. So we are limitless beings, but we're playing in the playground of pretending together that we have limitations, that we're in wheelchairs. We call these wheelchairs bodies. Some people's bodies have a few more limitations than others. But the name of the game isn't necessarily to heal the body and get up and walk out of the wheelchair. The name of the game is to bring as much love and passion and creativity to this wheelchair experience we're having. You can call it a spacesuit. That's the name of the game. That's what healing is about. It's not about changing your finances, using the law of attraction and, healing the cancer. All that may or may not happen when you heal the mind from all is not well to, what was I thinking? All is well. So let's give you a little taste of the end of the poem. I don't want to read the whole thing. So you get off the couch and turn off the TV and tune into WLOVE. It's got no commercials and nothing to sell, just a steady reminder that all is quite well. And all is quite well is insurance enough. You're already covered by a plan you can trust. You've got Universal, the original plan. And there's never a moment you're not in good hands. That's right, there's one more line. You're no longer buying fear's insurance scam. Because you know every moment you're in good hands. We're all in good hands every moment. And fear is the scam. It's the snaky, slippery salesman, the serpent in the garden that said, hey, eat this apple. You'll like it. So let's play a game. So James mentioned the Bob Newhart stop it thing. And for those of you watching this at home who wasn't present for the Namaste Village talk this morning, James was reminding us that there was a Bob Newhart TV show, and it had an episode where there was a psychiatrist who was famous for giving 5-minute sessions for $5. And all he did was listen to the person's problem and say, stop it. And that can seem to some people a little harsh. Certainly people who need to be heard and validated are not going to enjoy that kind of therapy. But let's see what happens. Let's have some fun with this. So I want each person to have, anyone who wants to do this, to have a chance to unmute and say something going on in your life in which you have judged that all is not well, and then mute, and everybody unmute and say, stop it. And then I'll talk about it. Who's willing to go first? Come on, you brave warriors of light.
I'll go first.
Cool.
Everyone yell really loud. I wake up and I feel okay. And then the longer I lay there, this fear comes into my belly. And I believe it. I believe it's real.
Okay. What is the fear most predominantly saying? If it was a thought, what would that fear be
Stay
saying?
in bed. It's not safe out there.
It's not safe out there. Thank you. Now you can mute, and everybody unmute on the count of 3 with love in your heart. Say the words. 1, 2, 3.
Stop
it!
Stop it!
Stop it!
Stop it!
Stop it.
Well, you report back to us, okay? Tell us how that worked for you. But that's kind of like it's a masculine bulldozing, get over it kind of approach to healing. What I would rather you do is to put your hand where the fear is, in the belly, breathe into it. And you can say, beloved, beloved child. I understand that you're feeling afraid. I'm with you now. I am right here with you. And I'm here to just sort of wake you up tenderly and remind you that you're just having a dream. There's nothing to fear out there. Everything's safe, everything's beautiful. And just breathe into the belly, hold the belly, and keep affirming that it was just a dream and see what happens. That's more of a feminine, allowing, accepting, unconditionally loving embrace. We need to be the broadcasters of the good news. All is well. And all is well can come very gently, very soothingly. Ah, thank God this is just a dream. The truth is all is well. And that's what teachers of God are. That's what the word is. That's what the concept is. It's somebody who broadcasts a vibration into the world. All is well. And when you get consistent with that, it's beautiful. Nothing can faze you. Nothing on the news. All is well. All is well in my belly. You know this. We watch people like Vicky demonstrate it through the angel of COVID. So we have wonderful people leading by example. So I don't know how helpful this stop it thing is, but does anybody feel inspired to take a turn? Does anyone like feel the medicine of this or just wants to have some fun? Because your prize at the end of this thing is that I'll give you a little bit of coaching and gentle guidance that I would always want to follow with something like stop it.
Well, Scott, I would like to say not stop it, but start it.
Oh,
You are such a delight, my darling. Your energy, your love, and I'm glad to be getting to know you better. You're not just a musician, baby. Not just a musician.
oh.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate the intent, the clarity, the strength, and the consistency that God is real. Love is all there is. And wow, you make it fun. Romper room. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you, darling. Start it.
Start.
Yeah. I used to be the guest musician at Unity, religious science kind of churches, and I would just sit there and fantasize about what I would say if I was giving the talk. And one day, a Unity minister in Syracuse, New York, who had hired me to do the guest music, and I had been at his church several times. He said, at the end of our conversation, he said, "Oh, I'm going to be out of town that day. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to see you." And I said, "Have you lined up a guest speaker yet?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Well, I do that too." And I had never done it before. And I prayed that he wouldn't ask for a demo tape or something like that. And he said, "Great, that saves me and so I gave my first talk 1993. And I was so scared. I was so uncomfortable without my guitar. And so I just let people in on that. And I said, here's how you can support. First of all, the talk was called Leaving Your Comfort Zone. So it was for me. As we all know, we teach what we need to learn. And I asked people to support me. I told them how nervous I was. And I said, after something I say lands home for you, please say, "Amen, Brother Scott." or something else, but just like get into it. Give me your juju, give me your juice. And it really worked, and I've been doing it ever since. And then I'm writing my fourth book, and I never dreamed I would write a book. I went to a psychic on Maui, a channel who channeled Mary, and this was in 1994. And I said, what do you see? And she gave a whole wonderful um, blueprint of my soul, my purpose, and then I said, anything that you recommend? She said, well, of course, you should start your book. Young man, start your book. So anyway, you're right. I am more than just a musician. I am a holy, divine, incredibly luminous child of God. And also, I am a bozo on the bus. How many people know Wavy Gravy? He said, "We're all bozos on the bus." And so if you're an author or a janitor or a retired housewife, it doesn't matter. We're all bozos on the bus, and we're all totally awakened extensions of love. Anybody
Amen, brother.
anybody else want to receive the blessings and the darshan of a stop it? Go for it. Oh, and Yetska asked to read a poem. Yetska, you here? So somebody raised their hand.
Yes, I'm here.
Let's do your stop it, and then Yetska has a poem she would like to share. So who raised their hand for a stop it? Somebody raised their hand.
Mhm.
Well, maybe I was dreaming and I saw an illusion.
Tia Teresa,
Yes,
she's
I have
raising
someone.
her hand.
Say
Yeah,
again?
I don't know how to raise my hand. I'm on my telephone
That's
and there's
fine.
no hand.
That's fine. You can just tell us something in your life where you are perceiving it as all is not well.
Well, doctor, I want time has started. Give me 5 seconds. Anyway, give me 50 seconds. I want to move back to Namaste Village, and I have this very much need for your help with intestinal problems. Can you help me? That's it. Here's your $5 now.
Okay, first of all, you can Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle me the $5. And
I'll bring it to you.
okay, that sounds good. So let's all unmute for a moment and just say the words on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Stop
Stop it.
it!
it.
All right. And as far as intestinal distress, could be a lot of things. What's eating you? What's causing tension in your body? But it could also be that your diet is not as your body. My body has changed. I've gone from eating 3 meals a day to eating 2 meals a day, and it's still not like feeling peaceful. It feels like I'm still running on my programming. This has happened since I moved here to Namaste Village. And the only time I feel peace in my belly is when I eat small nibbles slowly and only when I'm hungry. So the whole idea of meals and doing what I think I should be doing and eating breakfast for social reasons, it's distressful. So I can't really say what your particular intestinal challenge is about, but I do know there are people who are, medical intuitives and naturopathic physicians who muscle test and tell you what's going on in there. And you may want to visit somebody who can help you that way, not a medical doctor. They don't know anything about nutrition and food and that kind of thing.
Is there an extra charge for all of that wonderful input?
3,010,467 gratitudes. You can PayPal them through praypal.com.
I'll bring them in person.
Okay.
Thank you. I
Very
love you.
Yes, I love you too. And the other, Yetska, we have 9 more minutes. Would you like to
Yeah.
share? And before
Well,
you share this, share why you want to share it so that we can all feel included in your emotion.
well, I just want to react also to Dia, because I was also had many troubles with my belly, and now I eat only one meal a day, and I eat no grains, and that is very much helping me.
Yeah. There are as many possible solutions as there are people.
Yeah,
So if you open yourself up to feedback from 1,000 people, you're going to have 1,000 different tips and suggestions and pathways.
yeah,
That's why I recommend working with a practitioner who can read exactly what's going on for you. Some people do it by testing your stool. I have a doctor friend who does his work is called intestinal success. You mail him your stool, and he can tell you exactly what to do.
yeah,
It's amazing. But I worked with an applied kinesiologist about 15 years ago when I had uh, yeast and candida. And I went on his cleansing program and took the supplements he recommended. And 6 weeks later, everything was fine and dandy. So everybody's got their own way of working that. But the truth is, even with intestinal distress, all is well.
yeah,
Even with body odor, all is well. Even with morning breath, all is well. Even with a heart attack, all is well. So that's where true healing is to put your hands on your belly and just say, all is well. Now, Yetska.
yeah. I had 2 weeks ago, I had a healing with you, and before I had a month before I had also a healing, and I had a shift, uh, and I wrote about what happened to me in a poem. Your coaching helped me so much. I feel your joyous touch. I grow within my feminine energy. Maybe you know how much this means to me. I am back in my natural flow. I have still fears, but I know that I can give it to the divine. This kind and stubborn girl is just fine.
Oh,
I was on a path that didn't feel as mine. You said me to turn to the feminine divine and turn my back to my family. This didn't feel easy to me, but I wanted to give it a try. Old patterns turned out to be a lie. My masculine side I have developed well. The feminine had nothing to tell. I give her now the steering wheel for me to feel and heal. The masculine sits in the back seat. That's down the window. That's the direction go. The experience I gained was that I felt sustained, that I can now love and dance. I created a new chance to be exactly as I am, to be myself again.
oh, thank you, darling. Wow. Wow.
Thank you for letting me read that.
You betcha. Yeah, I don't have any words. I'm grateful you had such a wonderful experience and that you've carried it into your daily life. sometimes people are just ripe. It's like they've been climbing a mountain one step at a time, one step at a time, and they only need one more step. And you hired me to help you get to the peak, and here you are.
Yes, I think that I am also at the beginning.
Of course, every every ending is a beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a major step, I think. I feel it. It's I have, yes, uh, let things melt away.
Yeah.
I cannot start again.
It reminds me of
Thank you so much for speaking up and sharing your poem with us. You were such a delightful, delightful being. And thank you for sharing. I loved it. Take your hands off that steering wheel.
indeed.
Yeah, girl, go.
It reminds me of the Course in Miracles when it says, God will take the final step for you.
Yes,
And I use language sometimes when people are open to it, like masculine and feminine sides, mostly because I'm finishing up a book that is all about that. But it doesn't need to be spoken of that way. But basically, the masculine side it exerts effort. It's like, climbing a mountain, climbing to the top. But what happens when you get there is you get to slide down. You get to slide down. And guess what that takes? Effortlessness. And guess what side of your yin yang you're using when you let effortlessness happen, when you let grace take over, when you let God take the final step? That's your feminine side. And we're going to close today by saying, um, what are we saying? This is another little Dr. Seuss thing. Oh, yeah. Um, So when you're on top, it is time to slide down to bring your good cheer to the folks on the ground. Not that you'll be on a serious mission. The world's had enough missionary positions. Your mission's to feel great, and that is enough, because nothing's more important than feeling God's love. That's how you give the whole world a big hug. Nothing's more important than knowing God's